Good morning, everyone, or just me, but that's okay. uh, Today I want to talk a little bit about, sorry, I'm realizing my age and need some reading glasses sometimes now. I've had perfect vision my entire life, never needed glasses, never needed anything. Went to the eye doctor probably a year ago now. Had her check my vision. First time I've had my vision checked since I was probably 14 years old. And I said, I'm having trouble reading stuff up close. And she said, okay, well, let's do your eye exam. So she did the eye exam, and she's like, you have 20/20 vision. I said, well, how come I can't read? And she said, read stuff, or stuff looking blurry up close. And she says, well, now you have eyesight like everybody else does. I thought, that kind of sucks. So I went with it for probably this whole year, and finally the other day I asked my wife, I said, hey, next time you go to like Walmart or Walgreens or something like that, could you try to pick me up a pair of reading glasses? So the other day she did it, and tried them out this morning. Ambulance going down the road. Tried it out this morning when I was doing my Spanish and such. This is the first day I've been trying them, and boy, what a difference that makes. I can really see it. So yeah, I might stick with it. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about panic attacks. See, I didn't know what they were until a couple of years ago. Along with my age, learning what a panic attack is. As I get older, I learned that I handle stress differently than I used to. It hits harder, I think is maybe the right thing to say. And so how did I realize I was getting my first panic attack? Well, my wife actually told me, I think you're having a panic attack. It literally is. I thought maybe I was having a heart attack, couldn't breathe, and it was a terrible experience. And I've had two since then, none recently. I guess the last one I've had was last December. Actually, right before we went on vacation, I had one. I was afraid that I was leaving too much behind and things were going to go wrong, and that I was going to be in a different country and it would be really hard to get back if there was problems. But I knew I needed to go because I wanted to share the experience with my family. And so we went, and nothing went wrong, or wrong enough that I couldn't fix it remotely. And so that was good. But I do want to tell one story. I'm up here at what I like to call our colo in the cornfield. So this is the colo. I won't take you inside because it's got client stuff in it, but and then there's a cornfield. So I mean, it doesn't get much more Iowa than a colo in a cornfield. But specifically I want to talk about this tower. I don't think you can probably see that light blinking on top. Maybe you can. It was 4th of July, and I was in my late 20s. I'm almost 40 now. I'll be 39 in April. I think either 30. I think I'll be 39, maybe 40 in April. I don't really know. I'm thinking. Yeah, I'll be 40 in April. That's old. Anyways, 82, 2002, 2022, did the math. Anyways, I got up in the morning, and we were at the lake. I'm gonna spend, it's 4th of July at the lake, going on the water, shooting fireworks. It is literally my Christmas. And we used to have all of the client equipment in these two little buildings. There's rules that we had to follow that I won't get into, the reason we had to have these two buildings and all this. But anyways, I was up at the lake, so we're up at Spirit Lake, which is literally just down the road, that road over there. And a little lightning storm, nothing, no big deal. And we were pretty new to the tower game. We had to provide the residents of Lake Park, which is just down the hill there. We had to provide them with phone and internet service, or we wanted to, and we did. And so we put this tower in first to provide them internet and phone. Well, the one thing, you know, and not knowing anything about towers, I've been in tech a long time, but I've never dealt with towers. One thing that towers do is they tend to attract lightning. So anyways, and this is why I used to love rainstorms growing up. It usually meant we didn't have to go outside to work. We got to clean the shop. You know, it was busy but fun work, and it wasn't nasty pig work. But anyways, because I used to work with pigs, but ever since then I've hate every time it rains because things are going to break. Anyways, we had a monitoring platform that monitored all of the systems inside these two huts, and all of a sudden my phone just blows up. I'm getting messages from our monitoring system saying that stuff's down. And I looked at my wife and I said, I've never seen it like this. I don't know when I'll be back. Headed up to the colo, or headed up to these two huts. And you know it's bad when you come over the hill and there's no light at the top of the tower. I mean, you knew that there was going to be a problem. And luckily I was younger and I was handling stress differently. At that time, I only had the two kids. I didn't have Emily yet. And so, you know, I just processed stress differently then. Anyways, the light wasn't flashing. I thought, okay, the bulb's burned out, or the power's out. Something simple, right? I click a breaker and everything comes back on and we're good. I open up the door to the first brown hut one there, and it's dead silent. Power supplies, battery backups, everything's silent. And yeah, sure enough, lightning had struck the tower and gone down the grounds and killed almost everything in there. The thing about lightning strikes that I find interesting is that equipment may still function, but it may function strangely. So you can't trust anything that's been struck by lightning. So we would get something running, but it would act up. It would just be weird. And so we pretty much ended up replacing all of the equipment in that colo. And when I was younger, like I said, I processed stress differently, and it didn't really hit me how catastrophic this was. We had customers that were flying in equipment on commercial aircraft to replace this. Like, it's called the counter-to-counter ship. So that way they could be back up and running as fast as possible. You know, our own equipment needed replacing, and, you know, some backups and all that. And I think my friends and my wife and stuff, they brought us meals out here and stuff, because we didn't leave until the stuff was working. So I think that night I got home at 10 or 11 o'clock, back to the lake at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and had a good time talking to my friends, and because we all have the house together, talking to my friends, but you know, as I got older, the stress is different, and I have to learn how to process things differently. You know, I'll understand why. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, or if I take things more seriously or what. I mean, part of the good release is making these videos and talking about it, even if it's only to myself, and learning a new talent, video editing, which you won't find I do a lot of editing in these videos, just because I like things raw. I like to make it so when I'm talking, it's flowing, even with my ums and ahs and oohs. That's Iowa speak, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, stress is stress. I look forward to less stress, but I'm a realist. I was just watching a YouTuber or a travel blogger this morning, Itchy Feet on the Cheap, I think it's called. I'll put the link to the video down in the description. He was just robbed in Ecuador, and he didn't really want to talk about it. I don't blame him. And if anybody is watching this and is curious about Ecuador, I learned this today. They do, if you go into the bank to withdraw a sum of money, they offer you a police escort from the bank to wherever you're staying free of charge. So, you know, that might be something that you should consider when if you do decide to go to Ecuador and withdraw a large amount of cash, or cash a check or whatever. Anyways, I'll put a link to that video in the description, because it was pretty cool. I mean, it was not cool, but it was interesting. I shouldn't say cool. Somebody getting robbed is not cool. I mean, I feel for the guy. I don't know. He said it the best. I don't know. I guess this is a stress thing, so I can bring it up. You know, he says in the video, he says, you don't know how you'll handle it until you're in it. And he's like, there was a gun drawn on me, And when it was all over, I'm bleeding from the ear. And then he realizes that his wife had a gun drawn on her, and he was trying to hold the money back. And they say a lot of these scams or a lot of these robberies come actually from the bank. So the bank will notify somebody where somebody's staying, and they'll actually rob them when they get to where they're staying. So obviously this could be a problem, and that's why the Ecuadorian police offer the service of, you know, going to and from your house with the money. But anyways, you know, it's all stress related. I don't know where I was going with that. It doesn't matter. But anyways, tomorrow's the big day, 2 o'clock. Meet with the investment professional to find out if we have saved enough to officially fire. And once we know, I mean, our plans can really start rolling. Like I say, we're not going to rush anything. We're thinking, you know, next summer, a year from now, being able to finally do our thing. But who knows? Timelines change. Other things change, and you have to roll with the punches. And I think that's a lot with the stress and all of that. It's important that you learn how to move with the changing, and you can't get too hung up on one thing. When we traveled to Nicaragua, nothing went right. I got into a car wreck. It was my fault. I totaled a taxi. None of our flights lined up, which is why we were driving when we were driving. It wasn't at night. We'd only drove during the day, but we were supposed to be driving the day before because we were supposed to get in early enough. So had to roll with it. And my kids did great. My wife did great. Shoot, the people in Nicaragua were excellent. I mean, we can't move the vehicles, and we were literally on the main road from Managua to San Juan del Sur. And I mean, the people offered chairs to my wife and kids. They offered anybody that could speak a little bit of English help me. I could speak a little Spanish, but not. I speak more. I can order at a restaurant Spanish. Not. I just totaled a car, and I haven't been drinking Spanish. Luckily, I have a good friend that lives in the States. He's a Cuban American. He was born in America, but his parents were Cuban, and so I called him on WhatsApp, and he helped translate when the cops would let me call him. It took a while. So anyways, you got to learn how to roll with it. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to stress, especially moving stress. I mean, my wife, I try to ease her into this idea, this freedom. I mean, fire is freedom, in my opinion. I could work if I want to. She could work if she wants to. I kind of have an interest in finishing my 4-year degree and getting a teaching certificate. I don't think I want to teach, little kids, but I would enjoy teaching computers. We own a nonprofit here, or we don't own it. We started a nonprofit here in Spencer that teaches computers to kids, and there's an excellent teacher there that works for the school, but he also is a founder, and he helps teach kids and stuff. And I think I would want to be in a little older, maybe not university, but like high school, something like that. But anyways, I'm interested in maybe completing a teaching certificate. It also would help. If I had a bachelor's in basically anything, I could teach English or anywhere I live, and I think that pays okay if we need it to work, and I could do it at my own time. So anyways, I've been babbling for almost 14 minutes now. I think that's probably long enough. But yeah, coming to you from the Colo in the cornfield. I'm gonna write a book, so if anybody steals that, you'll know you heard it from me. I'll know, and I'll find you. And coming to you from the Colo in the cornfield, I want everybody to have a great day.